state extra in this part, which is Tripura. Assam, I would request my colleague to cover in the next session. Tea has already been served, so there is no need to wait for tea. You already had your tea, but I am sure Director of Music is here. If someone is interested, he can definitely give us a 5-minute break with some music.
Something that the gentleman from Manipur had mentioned, but it affects most of the children who go out to work outside of the Northeast. And so I just wanted to bring in your opinion, all of you,
do you think that 5,000 rupees is enough to survive in a country like India now, realistically speaking?
Let me explain. We are giving additional source of employment generation. That's what we are targeting. The minimum should be additional source of income generation. We have kept a minimum of keeping in view our strength in the economy, that is agriculture, horticulture. For that, to start with, we have kept the target of minimum 5,000, at least they should earn. National processing that we have started. The profitability per annum is going around 1 lakh, 2 lakhs also. But in case, the worst case, we have kept that minimum 60,000 rupees per annum should be there.
Why I brought this up was with regards to the who set up BPOs and all. Yes, they have a lot of investment, but we know realistically how much they are earning as well. And then to think that you bring somebody outside of the state and expect them to earn 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 and live in cramped up conditions and then earn only that much doesn't make sense. And that is the reason why there is such a high rate of attrition which has not been addressed. And I think it's high time that if you're going to be bringing human resource out, people out of the Northeast, then there has to be some sort of comfort level that can be provided to them. And this is where the government really needs to work with the industry, the industry itself, the leaders of the industry on how to work this out. Because let's say bigger companies are really taking care of their employees well, but it's the smaller companies who are starting, they're really making life difficult for many of the Northeast people. And another thing I want to request is the government sector, please, this will maybe come under the skill development tomorrow, but in case many people don't turn up, I just want to say, please, when you make policies, especially in the health and this wellness and spa sector, I don't understand why the whole world thinks that only the Northeast is, yes, inherently we're very hospitable people, we're amiable people, and we're good at this, but to only think that we are good for menial industries is not good unless there is a vertical growth. This is something that we want to ask the policymakers to really initiate and ask the industry people to accommodate people, because otherwise you're going to constantly see entry levels who will just drop out and result out to nothing. And this is what we want to avoid. As people who train other people and send them outside, we really want to make sure that this does not happen. And this is happening in a very big way because of certain reason, and I'm glad our Nagaland presenter had mentioned.
16 will be out. Now, why I am making this statement, it's extremely important because three very important state representatives made the presentation. And if you see in the FDI policy, majority of these sectors, now this is what Prime Minister's vision, most of these sectors are going to be 100% FDI permitted and 2 on automatic route. Now, why this is important? Now, it is important now that the initiative will now lie with the state governments. Now, how do you frame your policies to attract this investor to come and invest in your state in a particular sector? It will depend. So, Government of India is going to do its job. But now, how you are going to attract investment in that particular sector, it's the policy of the state which is going to determine where the investment is going to flow. So thank you very much for a very participative session. I would request now Dr. A.M. Singh to take over the next session. Thank you.
How they are coming back to their different states. So what we have done in our skill development in the last 1 year, first thing is that we have expanded our horizon from certain limited sectors to those sectors skill development where the minimum, you can say the salary would be plus 12 on yours. Because you are rightly pointed out that if a person, you will give 8,000 rupees and asking them to go to Visakhapatnam or to Chennai or to how the person can survive. So first thing is that my ministry with the skill development scheme, we are only taking those skill development training programs where the minimum the institutions are giving plus 12. First thing. And now we are expanding the value. Yesterday I had a marathon meeting there in my ministry and I had cleared about 4 skill development projects where I am talking about laser, digital printing, laser technology, web designers. So then thinking about something about the skill enhancement rather than giving the basic skills. So definitely I know that the proactiveness from the government of India is not as prompt as what you are thinking about. But we are working into it and we are quite positive about that. And you will definitely get the result in next couple of years. That I assure you from my side. Now I just welcome my other colleagues from Sikkim and from Assam. And I just start straight to the business and I would like to request my colleague from Sikkim to make the presentation from Sikkim.
On this very important occasion. I am Mr. Sharif Sharma, Director of Commerce and Industries, Government Sikkim. I don't have an actual presentation, but I'd like to share some information with you, which provides Sikkim as one of the best places to land opportunities. And why this opportunity? Let me just highlight some of the points. Sikkim is a very stable political environment. We don't have many law and order issues. It is the most peaceful state. Recently it has been declared as an organic state, and the organic mission has concluded in January 2016 with the declaration by the Honorable Prime Minister of India. We only emphasize on industry-friendly labor laws. We have reliable power supply and infrastructure. The airport at Park, just about 40 kilometers, is coming up very soon, in the next few years, I think, 2-3 years. We have a border trade going on with China from Mathura since 2006. We have about 20 items which are being imported and 36 items which go out. We have a very clean and green environment too. And the rich biodiversity of the Himalayan region is very obvious as it stretches from the Hindu Kush towards this side. Apart from this, since I'm in the Industries Department, we have 2 very important and very effective public sector units which have contributed highly to the quality manufacturing, of which recently we had a program in Gangtok. I'd just like to mention that the TBT estate has about 20 different types of tea products which are fully organic, and they are supposed to also be having medicinal value. The Government Fruit Preservation Factory, which is another unit under the Commerce and Industries Department, also produces organic ginger and papaya candy, as well as an important health drink, which is by way of using Sibak powder. This is a berry which is found in the high Himalayas. So this has been launched recently and should be coming in the market by March next month. So apart from this, I'd just like to inform the different type of service sector industries that have been coming up with the emphasis of the government on ecotourism, hydro projects, most of it organic fruits and vegetables, since the organic mission has been declared, the food processing industries, floriculture, medicinal plants and herbs, the farm industries, pharmaceutical industries. We have just over 20 pharmaceutical industries and about 220 medium small scale industries which have come up in the state. So these are all eco-friendly industries because the government policy only says eco-friendly industries will be allowed. Most of the tourism-based industries, hotels, resorts, adventure sports, everything, with a great emphasis on the ecotourism part. there has been an ecotourism policy in place with the government, by the government since 2011. So if there are any other queries that you would like to ask, please ask me directly, because this information I would like to share with you this evening. Thank you for this opportunity and this invitation to the ministry. Thanks so much.